Welcome to Kingsbury Water Park. A beautiful day I've chosen in the middle of May in 2025. I'm going to take you on a little tour around some of the better bits of note, so that when you do come for one of the events here, you'll have a better understanding of what the course looks like. This is where we get set up in the morning. So obviously we'll have lots of gazebos here when you do come for your event. And that behind me is where the car park is. So you can use the car park to drop any of your stuff in if you've got lots of stuff, spare trainers, things like that. Obviously we'd have an area for your bags as well, but it is handy to have the car really close. And as you can see, there is absolutely nobody here. It is a beautiful day, a Tuesday in May, and we've got the whole place effectively to ourselves, which is always good fun. Pretty much immediately, as soon as you leave the HQ area, you get greeted by an incredibly large body of water, loads of water to run around here. And generally it's just a beautiful place to come running, but lots of water, lots of gravel tracks, as you can see. And also there is a small scale railway. Kingsbury Water Park is intersected by these tiny little roads all the way through. Most of these roads lead to the sort of water sports park where people come and, I don't know, jet skis and things like that. But obviously during the week, pretty much no one's doing that. However, you just need to pay a little bit of attention as you're crossing these roads to make, well, pay full attention as you're crossing the roads to make sure that you're going to be safe. But you're very unlikely to actually see a car at any point during the week. As you can see, another beautiful body of water that you get to run next to, full of ducks, full of geese, all having a good time and leaving you alone. Lots of the surface is very similar to this. So as you can see, we've had a lot of dry weather the last week or so. Well, the last month or so, but even if it got really wet, this is only ever going to be sticky. It's never going to be thick mud. So just bear that in mind when it comes to shoe choices. As you come through and past your third body of water, you get to this little point here where you do a 180-degree turn. So it's always marked, obviously it's always marked, but we do sometimes lose people who aren't concentrating and just go straight on. But it's quite simple to mark. There'll be arrows in the fences and things like that, but if you miss it, obviously you miss it. But there's a 180-degree turn, and then there's even more water. You can't see it behind those hedges there. You'll see it in a moment as you come through. And then as you can see as well, we're on proper tarmac at this point, so sort of run along a road. But as I've mentioned, very few cars actually come along these roads during the week. You get some people on bikes and things, so you need to be alert, but they're meant to be sort of 5-mile-an-hour roads, so you can still go along them with your headphones on, as long as you can hear your surroundings, so you wear aftershocks like I have on. Once you come off the tarmac section, again, more bodies of water. So if you like running around water, but not particularly close to it, this is a beautiful route. You might have noticed as well that all of these points, I've not mentioned a hill. I probably have done a meter's elevation, maybe, if that, maybe not even that. It's an incredibly flat course here. So there are some little hills, some little rises that I will show, but they are limited. The park run that is here, that isn't the same course but uses the same sort of bits, is quite often used by people to come and set their PBs and so on, because it's so flat and fast. So we're talking that sort of place. But as you can see, again, ground conditions, even if this is in the middle of winter, which it never will be because it floods here, so it'll always be a summer event. But even if it's been raining a lot, this is going to get sticky but it's never going to be 2 feet of mud. So you can always get away here with road shoes. You might slip and slide a little bit, but you don't need to have super aggressive trail shoes for here. It's just not that sort of place. This is one of the, I can't call it a hill, this is not a hill. It goes up a little bit, the same as going up the curb goes up a little bit. But this is as much of a hill as you get here. I reckon it's going to be 10 steps and then I'm at the top. I'm only out of breath because I've been running. But again, it's just really nice. It's really nice running sort of not deep in the woods, but there's still lots of green around you. I don't know how much the cars going past will come up on the audio. I'll work that bit out when I get back. You are in the middle of quite a lot of major roads, so there is a sort of continual buzz as you go round, but you do still feel like you're sort of in the wilderness. It's just what all of these parks in the Midlands are like, really. The M42 cuts right through the middle of this. We don't go near that bit, really. Well, we don't go under it, but you do have the sort of drone of the cars, which is frustrating because if you got rid of that, it would be absolute bliss. However, you can't have absolute silence and be 5 minutes from the motorway. So, you know, it makes getting here a lot easier if you are next to the major roads. You're doing one big square here, sort of. So we've come around sort of like onto the third side of the square. You cross over this little path. Again, watch out for bikes because they do come down from Kingsbury Water Park, or from Kingsbury Town, sorry. And then you're back onto a sort of gravelly track for, I don't know, about a quarter of a mile. And then through there, you'll see it better in the videos in a moment, is the River Tame, or Tam probably, I guess, from Tamworth. And you run alongside this for about a mile. This is very pretty, as you can see, nice and wide, just lovely running, lovely Kingsbury Water Park running. The bridge you can see, oh, and the duck going past, there we go, wildlife. The bridge you can see there, it's a lovely little view. We don't go over that bridge, we keep running alongside the Tame, but it's a basic little bridge, but with the house behind it, I think it just looks beautiful. And you see all the ducks going for a little wander through this little river here. I say little, it's quite a big river actually, through the Tame. And the reason that we'll never be here in the winter or in the wetter month is because all of Kingsbury Water Park is the floodplain for that river. And I don't know enough about the routing of the water and so on, but pretty much every winter that I've paid attention, it has flooded here. And when it floods, pretty much the whole site will be 6 inches underwater. So it's not, oh, a path's closed, it's the whole place is just, you can't get into it at all. So I won't be organising events here. I pretty much only organise events between May and September because I don't want to be cancelling events because of flooding. So that is why, yes, it is a beautiful day today that I'm recording this on, and I can't promise it's going to be just like this because this is near perfect, but I can be pretty certain it's not going to have been raining for 3 weeks because we're only ever really going to use this course in the summer. This is another little section where you come onto roads. This is technically a car park, but I don't think I've ever seen cars parked here, even at the weekend. There's a toilet block that has been closed forever, and this is where one of the train stations is as well. So when the trains do run, people do get off here. But like I say, that's a weekend thing, so that won't affect any of our 6-hour events here at Kingsbury. But again, back onto some gravel, just beautiful running. As you start to come towards the end of the lap, you come out of the sort of thicker undergrowth, back to another big body of water. That's the one at the start, and then it's a long gravel path like this all the way back to the finish line. As you can see, this little section, I'm in a bit of speckled shade. There's a lot of shade on this course, so if it is a hot day, there are sections where you can escape the heat. There are also some massively open sections where you won't be able to escape the heat, but you do get a little bit of respite as you go around the course. You know you're getting back towards the finish when you get towards the little train track. You come over this tiny little bridge, you see the playground, and you turn the corner, and then you're back to HQ. That's a lap of Kingsbury Water Park. So I'm a little bit hot and sweaty, but that's more to do with my level of fitness. It's a lovely, flat, runnable route, really good underfoot. Some little bits where it's twisty and turny a little bit with your feet, on your ankles maybe, but nothing too dramatic at all. And then as you can see, on a Tuesday, beautiful weather, as you've seen, virtually nobody here. So as much as we don't have sole access to the park, and we never do, it might feel like it at times. I think I've seen 2 people when I've been out there for about 45 minutes. So if you want to come and join us, go to bigbearevents.net, see when we're next at Kingsbury Water Park, and hopefully you'll be running along here as well with us soon.